Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the month of March 2023 and the life path forecast for the month ahead. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss when I post. And of course, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Personal month forecasts, which will include, of course, the moon forecasts, those will be coming sometime next week, I anticipate, so keep your eye out for those. And of course, they are different from the life path forecasts, and they do have different calculations. So be aware of that, and definitely check yours out once they land. Like I said, I expect that to be sometime next week. This, of course, is a general reading. For a personal reading or a coaching with numerology session with me, you can book some time with me. Of course, my information is in the description box below to do that. Okay, so March 2023 is 10-1 energy. So you may have seen some things close out in the month of February. Some things coming to fruition, completion, things falling away, creating a clean slate, right? So March, we have this beautiful clean slate to create whatever it is that we wish to create, to take some big risks, to take some some initiations, to initiate some new things, right? To be somewhat aggressive in that approach and to go after what it is that our hearts desire. This, of course, is going towards those sort of individual goals, those big new starts when it comes to self. The one energy is very much focused on self and identity and going after, again, what it is that we feel called to go after at this moment, and what it is that we feel called to create or initiate, and to do that in a way that, again, we're taking the initiative to do that. One energy forces us to take the initiative to get started on something. And it may look different than what we had anticipated it would look like. And a lot of times with one energy, that's very normal. It can be so outside the box that a lot of people don't understand it, and that's okay. Follow your instincts, follow your intuition, follow your heart at this time, and really take those big risks on the things that really speak to you the most. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the individual life path forecast, taking all this into consideration. Life path number 4. So our animal wisdom this month for March comes from starfish. This is such beautiful energy. I'm super excited about this as a 4. So with starfish, there's definitely sort of this cosmic energy coming through. Like, you think of starfish and they kind of look like stars. And so it's like the earthly stars, right? Like shining on earth, just like we do, from the heavens type thing. Definitely a lot about like cosmic, ethereal, dreaming kind of energy, right? And it's sort of like that energy of like reaching for the stars, right? Like and really dreaming big and bringing things to fruition through that sort of not only your own ingenuity and your own capabilities, right? But also through that cosmic energy that we're all a part of. So there's something very mystical, very, just really beautiful and ethereal with starfish coming through. It's definitely a lot about like mystical awareness. It's very possible for 4s who, by the way, 4s are very, very tuned in to the more ethereal. They are very intuitive. It's a very, very intuitive energy. It often gets sort of highlighted or focused on as a very practical, methodical, sort of the workaholic type energy, which it is. It's very pragmatic as well, but 4 energy is very connected. It is the energy or the vibration of the earth, right? So it's very much like sort of this very natural, intuitive, heart-centered, right? The 4th chakra is the heart center. It's very heart-centered, very ethereal, very divine feminine energy. So this month is an opportunity with starfish coming through for fours to get very tuned into that, right? Because a lot of times there is a lot that fours will shoulder in the practical, sort of more physical world, right? When it comes to career and work and like teaching or sharing their expertise or becoming the master at something. And it's a very focused energy, right? Like very physical energy. And so a lot of times fours will sort of push that more mystical, more ethereal, more intuitive energy to the side or suppress it. This is a month, I think, where it will come to the forefront, especially if you're someone who has sort of been suppressing it or, pushing it to the side for the more practical, physical, logical things. There may be some things this month that happen in fours that you can't explain. And, no matter how hard you try to wrap your head around it, it actually starts hurting your head because you're like, I just can't fathom this. I can't comprehend this. I can't put words to it. That's some of the things that can happen that sometimes are part of like a spiritual awakening, but also just bring us more in tune to our own cosmic energy that we're all a part of, right? And so with starfish coming through, definitely be prepared for like mystical awareness. Major like regeneration as well. There may be some things that have kind of fallen away and you're meant to sort of regenerate, but regenerate in a way that is much more aligned and that serves you now, right? Like, because sometimes things that served us in the past don't serve us any longer. And with fours, it can be hard for us to sort of cut that cord and be like, all right, it's time to move on because I've invested so much energy. I can't, right? Like, it's hard for us to sometimes cut the cord and move forward without keep looking back and being like, what could I have done better? Or where did I fail? Or whatever, right? Or how can I make this work? Sometimes it's got to be amputated and we just need to regenerate. And when we regenerate, we were generating something fresh and new that's much more aligned with the direction that we're moving in. So with starfish coming through, there's definitely that possibility. But just because something is severed does not mean that that's the end of the road for us. That just means the road may look different. And what are we going to create with that on that new path, right? And you may find that you get a lot of help from like your spirit guides, the animal kingdom, right? Like beyond like the human animal. You could see a lot of messages come through dream time, through just synchronicities or whatever. So definitely pay attention to that. This is beautiful energy. This is my jam. I love this sort of stuff. And so to see this coming through for us as a collective of fours, it's pretty awesome. So I'm excited. And if you're listening to numerology forecast, chances are you're already like immersed in the mystical side of things. So this can be a fun month. So just enjoy it. Let your guard down. Just don't try to explain the things that just aren't meant to be explained, but are meant to be experienced. I think that's a key signature of this month for us, because we can definitely try to explain it, because when we can explain it, we can control it. And if we can't explain it, we can't control it. And so this is definitely a month for just playing in that mystical arena without trying to like control it. Because what can come from that can help us on this new journey, whatever that may be. Now, we are working with 14-5 energy this month for March, along with, of course, the collective energy of the 1. So for us, this is going to probably bring up a lot around like social obligations, family obligations. A lot could come in around like the home structure. So the actual physical structure of the home, the physical body, the home environment. A lot could come in around that, that sort of needs to be dealt with. Or again, that we may feel overly obligated to address or again, like move through or come up with a solution for type thing. And so we can feel a little bit sort of restricted in that way. But we could also see there is the potential for some major changes in that area as well. And because we're working collectively with a 1 energy, there could also be a lot of changes or shifts when it comes to our own identity and like, what we want and how we assert ourselves and how we go after what we want, but also taking into consideration the needs of others, especially this month, because social and family obligations could definitely crop up. Modifications could also, again, kind of come through with, change, modifications, transformation this month when it comes to, again, I'm sticking to sort of like the home environment or career or work, especially if you work from home type thing. But don't be surprised if there are some major shifts. Again, when it comes to maybe somebody moving in, moving out, a change in a relation, like a significant relationship that has to do with the home. Somebody maybe an authoritative figure could come into the spotlight this month. Someone like a father figure could also come into the spotlight this month. Obligations towards those people or major changes and transformations could also come into play as well. Another indicator or another signature of this month would be, because again, working with 14-5 energy, that 5 energy is very strong. So make sure that you're not falling to extremes too much this month. Make sure that you are being very aware of doing things in moderation and finding your center and your equilibrium and moving from that space, as opposed to one of being overly restrictive or overly excessive. Just keep coming back to your center. And if you can do that, then whatever decisions you make, whatever changes you make, whatever changes are sort of pushed on you through the universe or whatever, you'll be much more capable of moving through that in a more comfortable way, right? And a more expeditious way. So interesting energies coming through for us this month. It's like we really do have the more practical sort of like family obligations, social obligations, potentially some change, some physical changes, some physical modifications. But then we have starfish energy, which is really bringing in that more mystical side of things. So we really do, I feel, this month have very strong cosmic support. So whatever it is that you choose to do, if you're doing it from your heart space, your heart center, you're being led by your heart and your true authentic desires, then this will be cosmically supported. And I think that you'll see the people and the places and the things show up that need to help you to achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve this month. So I hope it's very beautiful and powerful and mystical for you all this month, Fours. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.